Okay, we're going to start.
Right.
This is Ty. I'm with Slater and Alec of Indico. All right, before we start this, I want to reassure that the judges have not slipped you any of the questions in advance. You have no idea what questions
I
are going
hereby
to be.
affirm that I do not know what is being asked of us.
Question number 1 is biblical. Who should get the biblical question?
Alec, I might embarrass myself because I'm a little rusty. But
I can be the friend.
And why should you get the biblical question?
High school. I think I'm like technically a year towards being a Catholic priest. Something along those lines.
All right.
A lot of theology.
Here's a question you need to
open it. How does this work?
Yeah, it's open it and answer the question.
Ooh, excellent.
And actually, we started really easy on you here. We read it aloud. You got to read it aloud.
Oh, okay.
Oh, in the beginning of the King James edition of the Bible, what was the first phrase? Hence 6 words. In the beginning, there was light. Or no, God, no.
King James edition. In the beginning was the word.
Was the word? Oh,
so give us.
Oh, you give me a hint on that. Oh well, this is.
There's only one word left. In the beginning.
All right. So the question is, the word is indico. Give us the Genesis story of how you came up with the name indico.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
All right, yeah. So, this is a combo. We're gonna tell them both then.
Okay. So back when we first formed this company, we realized that the first thing that we had to figure out was a name. So we went through 20, 30 different names.
We're typing Swahili words into Google Translate, trying to see what they are.
If we do freedom in Japanese and data in Swahili and cram the words together, what'll happen? And then we're like, okay, clearly we're no good at coming up with names. What are we good at? Machine learning. So we went and we scraped the top couple thousand companies on Yahoo.
It was actually a click and download a CSV. I like to
so much less exciting. And then we weighted the letter transitions by market cap and came up with, statistically speaking, the most successful possible name. And it said indico.
Now, indico with a little I.
Yes, with a little I.
Doesn't that mean that you're a captive of the past? Of the past trends?
Not at all. It means we're welcoming and we don't put ourselves up on a pedestal.
Okay.
Indico is for
the past.
All right, Alec took this one. I'm going to give the next one then. I'm going to give this one to Slater, though I know Slater, you're going to actually be dumping that one on Alex.
Oh, are you sure?
So well, maybe not. Who knows?
All right. So artistic photographic. As I balance the coffee. Okay.
I can take this for you.
Oh,
it's
thank
teamwork.
You. All right. How can you fragment or reassemble a lolcat to look like a Picasso painting? Okay, well actually, so there's a spectacular library on GitHub made by some developer that goes by the name New Moo.
Oh god, no.
Known as Stylized. Actually, I happen to know that New Moo's cat Iggy is currently the front page of this GitHub repository. Though I don't know.
I don't know who this New Moo character is, but I think I know how to do this. I think I know how to do this though.
Yeah,
so how do you do it?
So recursive partitioning of the input space. So you've treated as a regression problem. Actually, this is by a guy named Andrew Karpathy. So a few years ago on the internet, there was this big trend to do genetic algorithm, random tweaking to make the Mona Lisa from a bunch of polygons. And so you just take a bunch of polygons, see them, and you'd change the vertice, move it a little left, right, measure how much closer. If it got closer to the image, you'd keep it. If not, you'd delete it. And these algorithms could you could get a pretty good looking Mona Lisa.
Oh, so just iterative,
closer, try and over and over again. It would take 2 or 3 days, up to a week to run these things. So the problem is that's cool, but there's no way you're actually going to be able to do that. And when someone wants an image, just to have it. So there's this guy Andrew Karpathy. He's actually at Stanford.
No, that's fine. He's not the NLP department.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
And he kind of had this one post about how you use neural networks to do this, where you're treating the image as what you're trying to create. So you just treat it as a regression problem, where given the pixels of the image, predict the color of every given pixel. And you get this really cool kind of painterly stylization. But if you use random forest or just in tree regressors, you get this nice Picasso-esque splitting if you use the right.
So if I were to ask you for a picture in the show notes, you might be able to help me on this. We put this on the web.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have a live.
Question number 3. Fictional engineering.
Ooh,
Slater.
Excellent.
Right.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay. I am a fictional engineer. Always. All right. Spectacular. So, describe how Spider-Man can swing in mathematical terms. Can he achieve perpetual motion? So the short answer is no. Slightly longer answer is when I have a paper on this. Actually, I'm not sure if you were aware, Ty. Hold on. There's a whole bonus. Okay. So let me start with
this question first.
So the truth of the matter is that Spider-Man cannot achieve perpetual motion, sadly, unless he's going around corners. So basically, I did this project back in the day for my first and last ever physics class, which was advanced classical mechanics. They figured, get it all done in one go. And they said, come up with some project at the end. And so it turns out you can model Spider-Man as an elastic pendulum, sort of web slinging through the streets of
No spherical cow.
No spherical cow. Spider-Man actually is a point mass.
Oh, okay.
Spherical cows are a little advanced for Spider-Man. But no, so it turns out there are like certain strategies for swinging that Spider-Man can adopt, depending on whether he wants to move forward very quickly while losing speed. So basically, like what you have to assume is like when Spider-Man shoots out the web, it's already sort of like pre-stretched. And then he basically goes towards each web. He cannot achieve perpetual motion, but he can actually go several kilometers.
Oh, did you ever see the thing with the balls and the strings where you can sort of zing it? What's that principle? I forget. When you sort of, it's like almost like a yo-yo. You can get these and whipping around.
I've played. I had one of those.
Right. Should I?
All right. Question number 2.
Bonus question.
Bonus question.
Okay. What Boston life science entrepreneur / investor has hatched a half dozen successful companies and has never backed a loser startup? I'm not actually sure.
I'll give you a hint. His son works for Spark Capital.
Let's see. So I know a couple of people from Spark.
Okay.
Bijan.
Most recent partner. Tall. Andrew.
Andrew. Okay, I met Andrew. I know him. I don't know his last name.
It's Andrew Parker. What's his father's name?
Peter Parker. It's
Peter Parker.
It's that's spectacular.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God, that's
All
a good
right.
one.
We have a choice between source and sorcery, historic poetic, or mathematic cinematic.
Oh, I'm going to leave Alec up to this one. I've taken the last two.
So source and sorcery.
Source and sorcery. There it is.
All right.
All right. What's this one gonna be? What's cooler? Oh, this is.
Goodness. No, here. Magic the Gathering or Magic the Gathering Online Exchange. So Magic the Gathering, point blank, without a doubt, because it's extremely fun. I don't know if anyone saw it. There's a picture of us way back in the day. We played what may have been the highest stakes Magic the Gathering game of all time.
This was just with Aaron?
This is with Aaron. The details
It's a $3 million game, I believe.
No, with a $100 million cap. So I would certainly say Magic the Gathering. There's just nothing that really beats sort of the tactile feeling of the cards in your hands. And yeah, so actually about 2 feet away from here, we played a game with a local VC, Aaron White. Ezra, actually one of our interns, destroyed him.
Yep.
He actually destroyed
He paid his
him.
internship off.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we keep him around. He's excellent at Magic the Gathering. But Aaron is much better at Hearthstone.
Aaron, however, would know a lot more about Magic the Gathering Online Exchange.
Yes, he absolutely
and
would.
what that is?
I mean, just online versions of card games in general.
Magic, what are the initials? Magic the Gathering Online Exchange spell?
MTGOE.
OX.
OX. Mount Gox.
Mount Gox, the
Bitcoin
failed.
exchange. Yes,
It
absolutely.
started as a Magic the Gathering thing. Okay.
Yeah, I bought Bitcoin way back in the day when they were $8 a piece.
Yeah.
I won on the first bus and I lost on the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to go for. I'm going to go for a tough one here. I'm giving you historic poetic.
Ooh,
Historic poetic. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Doesn't this feel like Quiz Bowl?
By the way,
this is good.
I was a history major and a poetry minor.
Oh, that's excellent.
In college.
I
know that shocks you because you thought I was just a computer science.
Just a
PhD.
finance computer science
Yeah.
guy.
Oh,
All right. Here's a
Okay.
question.
Which person first wrote about the possibilities of a programming
Ada Lovelace, of course.
machine?
Ada Lovelace.
I don't know.
Ada Lovelace.
Ada Lovelace.
You know her daughter Linda Lovelace?
No, I don't.
Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, no, Ada Lovelace back in the day, first came up with the concept of the string. I think she was dating Charles Babbage back in the day. So,
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
It was Babbage's calculator, but I don't know if they were
I think there was some kind of romantic relationship there.
And what's the poetic connection?
Ada Lovelace.
Her father was Lord Byron.
Oh, right. That
Wow.
was right. Who died
Who was a
in
small
a
history
war
lesson.
of a disease.
Who was known as a philanderer, and her
That's
mother
a
wanted her far from poetry,
So
and
mathematics
so
is
she
good.
went to mathematics.
It's a good distance.
But
That's
she
a
still
great
got
distance.
the creative juices going.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, mathematic, cinematic.
All right. Let's see. Let's see
Go
what
with
happens
you.
here. Okay. I do like math. All right. Oh, I see. What is an Erdos Bacon number? Why is the world's lowest Erdos Bacon number 3, but is going to 2? Okay, so an Erdos Bacon number is the maximum of the maximum number of the sum.
The sum.
The sum. Oh, ooh. Okay.
First of all, what's an Erdos and what's a bacon?
Right. So an Erdos number. So Erdos was an extremely prolific mathematician. I believe the most prolific mathematician of all times. He would basically walk into math departments and they'd say, "Oh, we've been really struggling with this problem for a long time." He would sort of sit there, sort of think about it for like 10, 15 minutes, and be like, "Well, you've thought about it like this," and be like. And inevitably it would be the answer. And so he ended up being sort of co-authors on just hundreds and hundreds of papers. And it just built up to this point where everyone wanted to know, how far away from Erdos are you? This extremely prolific person. So if you co-authored a paper with Erdos, your number is 1. If you co-authored a paper with someone who co-authored a paper with Erdos, your number is 2. And so on and so forth. Bacon number is similar, but with acting in some kind of film. I don't believe. Is it limited to movies, Todd?
No, it's the 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Just some commercials, anything of the sort. The world's lowest. Okay. So I believe I remember why it's going to 2. I don't know why it's. I mean, presumably the reason it is 3 is because someone
has an Erdos number of
1 and a Bacon number of 2.
Yes.
And the reason it'd be going to 2 is presumably because that person's going to act with Kevin Bacon in a movie.
And I'm backing that project on Kickstarter.
Spectacular. Yes.
And the final question.
All right. This is exciting.
No, this is you both get to answer this one.
Okay. Let's open it up. Who would each of you rather be, Steve or Woz, and why? Oh, this one hits right down. Go for it, Alec.
Unfortunately, I don't know actually too much about Apple history. Slater's a big Apple fan, but I'm not.
So I want to.
I'm sorry.
I'm not a fan. I did read the 800-page biography.
Yeah.
I kind of am a fan. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Woz seems like my guy. My dad gave me helped me build my first computer when I was 5, so it's always been that kind of thing.
Steve was very technical, even though people don't think of him that way.
Well, but that's
so the weirdest thing is I think I would also still like Woz, but for a very different reason, which is that, so now I'm going to show some of my true Apple colors. When Apple first went public, a lot of the people that Steve brought on in the early days, including someone whose name I'm forgetting, but basically let him stay on his farm for a long time at Apple Farms, was where they eventually got the name for the company. His name was Dylan K. I forget his last name. Came to Steve and was like, "Oh, yep, we went public, great. Now what happens?" Because Steve had sort of always promised he would take care of him, and Steve said, "Well, no, that's kind of your deal." So Steve didn't have a lot of sort of friendship loyalty. But then what Woz did is Woz went to every single person that Steve had kind of promised shares to and said, "Don't worry, I will give you my shares." Yeah. And so Woz went and took care of all these friends, and that's something that I really do admire. But later early Steve, I don't want to be. I think he was too off the walls. Later Steve, when he really sort of got things together, he started being a much better, real family man, which I guess sounds weird coming from me. So early Steve, early Woz, late Steve.
I don't think of it. I think whether you're a technical guy or a business guy, everybody would rather be Woz now. Woz is still alive. Right?
That is fair.
Okay.
But at least Steve doesn't have to deal with being Woz. Being kind of the Buzz Aldrin of Apple.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All right, thank you guys.
Exactly.
Thanks. Mysterious random people who will be watching this.
Yes.